Good morning, second grade. I hope that everyone has been really happy and healthy while at home. These videos are here so that you learn skills that can help you be successful by working from home or school. So far, we have learned to be in charge of our emotions and happiness, as well as having a plan to get your task started. You guys are learning so much. I can't wait to hear about your goals that you started last week. This week, we will be learning about habit number 3. This habit is to put first things first, or for a better term, work first, then play. Someone who puts first things first says, I spend time on things that are most important. This means I say no to things I shouldn't do. I set priorities, make a schedule, and follow a plan. I am disciplined and organized. This may sound simple. I brush my teeth in the morning. I already do that, right? Well, let's think a little deeper about it. Putting first things first is pretty hard. In fact, of all the habits, it's the hardest one to keep. Why? Because the first thing we need to do may not be the easiest or the most fun. However, when we do the hard things first, we feel good about what we've done and we are able to have more fun doing the things that we love. It allows you to be less stressed. Does your family use a family calendar? This is where your family writes important events, to-dos, and projects. This allows the whole family to know what's coming up and when. Today, while I read our story, I want you to think of why it's so important to put first things first. So, I'm going to share my screen with you for our story today. It's a good one. You're going to like it too. So this is our story for today, and it's called Pokey and the Spelling Test. And I bet many of my students can make a connection right off the bat from the spelling test that we've either done in class, working on word stations, or even using our word walls that are on the backboard of all of our classrooms. All right, and look at the teacher. Isn't this cute? She's got glasses. And I bet you guys know all of their spelling words. Okay, I'm going to get close into the words so that you can follow along with me. There we go. One Monday, Pokey sat in class watching Miss Hoot write 6 words on the blackboard. Play, fun, have, for, you, drum. These words will be on Friday's spelling test, said Miss Hoot. Be sure you study every night, and then you'll spell these words just right. After school, Pokey went home and took a nap. Ding dong! Someone was at the door. It was Sammy. Hiya, Pokey, said Sammy. Do you want to go to the dump and look for some gadgets? There we go. Pokey knew he should study, but going to the dump sounded like more fun. Sure, said Pokey. When they got there, Pokey saw an old drum. He thumped it lightly. Dum, 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 dum. Awesome, said Pokey. He carried the drum home. He played it for the rest of the afternoon. There's them walking home. On Tuesday, Lily Skunk and Tagalong Allie stopped by Pokey's house. Allie and I just made some chocolate chip cookies. They're so yummy, said Lily. Want to try them? Said Allie. What? Said Pokey. Do you want to try some? Said Lily. I have to study for my spelling test, said Pokey. but I guess I can do that later. So off he went to Lily's house. When Pokey got back, he played his drum. Then he played his harmonica. Then he fell asleep. There's a picture of him in his room. While I'm reading so far, I want to think about something. Why did Pokey put off his spelling test? What did he do instead? Good. On Wednesday afternoon, Pokey went on a butterfly hunt with Goob. And on Thursday afternoon, he took a bicycle ride with Jumper. When he got home, he remembered that the spelling test was the next day, and he hadn't studied even one word. He took out his spelling cards. He taped them to the wall. Play, fun, have, for, you, drum. Pokey tried to write them down, but the letters swam in front of him like fish. There were too many words to learn in just one night. The more Pokey tried to memorize them, the more confused he got. He finally gave up and went to sleep. The next day, Pokey failed the test. I want to stop right there because I wasn't expecting that. Were you? And I also am thinking, how is Pokey feeling before the test? And how do you know? Let's look at this one more time. There were too many words to learn in just one night. The more Pokey tried to memorize them, the more confused he got. He finally gave up and went to sleep. So, how is he feeling and how do you know? Use evidence from the text. Great. Let's keep going. The next day, Pokey failed the test. He spelled every word wrong except for drum. What happened? Asked Miss Hoot. Didn't you study? I know you could have done better. I see some clues in this picture as to how he's feeling now as well. I kept finding other things to do, said Pokey. Sophie was standing nearby. You shouldn't procrastinate, she said. Huh? Said Pokey. I mean, you should have put first things first, said Sophie. Done your homework first, then had fun later. Thinking about our context clues that we've learned in class. Just by reading that text, I can use other words and sentences to make meaning of a word that I don't know. So one strategy is I could say, I'm going to reread to you. I just want you to listen, reread, and think I want you to come up with what it might mean. You shouldn't procrastinate, she said. Huh? Said Pokey. I mean, you should have put first things first, said Sophie. Done your homework first, then had fun later. I want you to discuss with someone, what do you think procrastinate means? Good. Miss Hoot agreed. She told Pokey he could take the test again next Friday. And this time, don't wing it, she said. And there's the picture. Pokey went home. He looked at his new drum. Dum, 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 he heard in his head. He looked at his spelling words. Ding dong! Someone was at the door. It was Sophie. I came to help you study, she said. They worked for a whole hour without stopping once. Ding dong! Someone else was at the door. It was Jumper. Want to play baseball? He said. Can't, Jumper, said Pokey. I'm studying. You're what? Studying, said Pokey. That's cool, said Jumper. Catch you another time. And off he ran. Pokey studied a little bit each day. On Friday, he took the test again. Fur and feathers, said Miss Hoot. You got a perfect score. Pokey's quills poked out all over. He wanted to thank Sophie. He went home and got his drum. He took it to her house and left it with a note. For you, play drum, have fun. Love, Pokey. And let's look at this. How do you think Pokey feels after his second test? And how do you know? Let's look at our picture and the words in this part of our story. What evidence in the text tells you that he felt that way? Great job. And if you look down here, these are all the words from his spelling test. Look what he was able to do now that he knows those words. For you, play drum, have fun. He wrote a note to his friend using that, so now he can communicate. Excuse me. Wow, what a great story to learn about why we put first things first. Do you have any similar connections? Have you put off doing homework and played a video game instead? I know I've done it. But this story also reminded me why we put first things first. Can you tell me why? Those are great reasons. Putting first things first means organizing your task and getting the most important ones done first. It means that you know what is expected of you and you are taking action to get there. Last week, we wrote down our personal goals and placed them somewhere we could see. This week, my challenge for parents and scholars is very similar. All you need is a paper and a pencil. What are some of your most important jobs and responsibilities? Practicing the piano, making your bed, doing your virtual schoolwork, or taking out the garbage? Talk with your parents about 3 to 5 things that you need to get done this week. Write them down on a piece of paper. Now with your parents, discuss which ones are more important than others. Place a number 1 next to your most important task. Place a number 2 next to the next important task. Repeat this process as you go through your list. When you are done, you will have an organized list and can put first things first. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay happy and healthy. Thank you. Bye.